Okiki, many thanks for doing this with us. First off, let's start with how you personally classify a shadow government and what Nigeria law or the Nigerian law says about a shadow government.
Yeah, good evening. What I classify as a shadow government is it's just that it's a government that works in a parallel way with the main government. So I'll explain that. Basically, a shadow government, it's such that they have the cabinet, they have the members of cabinet, they have exactly what the main government of the particular country is doing, right? So in this case, constitutionally, regarding Nigeria, it's not recognized, basically. Section 1, Section 1, 2, and Section 14.2 of the Constitution states specifically that there will be one government in Nigeria, and that is the elected government in Nigeria. So as we speak right now, the shadow government that is being proposed by Party Utomi, right, can be classified as an unconstitutional, gathering of people. Although the Constitution provides, in Section 40, that we have rights to belong to an association, a public civil association, and other associations. But in this context, we have what is called shadow government. A government, basically would be in charge of so many things, policies and other things that pertains to the government. And in this case, what we'll see, right, if this is allowed, means that we'll see a lot of policies come from this shadow government, which probably might instigate some public, members of the public to take laws into their hands and do some things that might not be good at the end of the day. So I'll to just wrap it up. Basically, shadow government is a government that runs parallel with the main government of the day, and I feel that this is not, at this stage in Nigeria, is not what we need and not what we should have. Specifically, before I move to another point, specifically, this kind of government is being proposed in a parliamentary system of government. Well, what we have in Nigeria is not a parliamentary system of government. What we have, it's a democratic government, and nobody says that we can't have a public poll and public opinion group that can talk about what the government is doing and in fact put the government in check as an opposition. But to name it shadow government, the nomenclature is very wrong, and I feel that will instigate a lot of things which we shouldn't have.
I have to ask at this point. I mean, DSS now has a suit against Utomi, and one has to ask that essentially from your submission, it means that they do have a case with this suit that they're filing against Dr. Utomi. In any way, would it affect the declaration of a shadow government in any way or shape or form? Would this suit affect the declaration of this shadow government?
Sure, it will. It will. The court has power to stop a particular thing, in that sense, particular movement or particular action, right? I believe that now that this has been put before the court, right, one major thing that will be done will be an injunction, right, to stop the defendant from going ahead with what has been planned, And I feel that at this time, importantly, we need this to come to place to ensure that at least this is put to stop or probably, pause for some time, and let parties, even discuss this and see what it is. If it is to change the name or the nomenclature of the group, it's fine. But to have another government parallel to the main government, I feel that that will cause a lot of chaos in the country, which we do not need at this particular point. We are going through a lot of things now, specifically insecurity and other things, and we do not need this kind of issue to come up again. They can come up with another name and oppose some of the things or probably speak about the policies of the government is fine. But to have another government, I think it will be unconstitutional.
I have to ask, right, because you're saying that a shadow government can only work when it's a parliamentary type of government, and in this case, the UK, we see that in the UK, right, and other countries that have a parliamentary style of government or leadership. And so, with that being said, and you also said in your submission, that if they were to go back to the drawing board and really change what this shadow government means it will change, that would be acceptable. So what does that entail? What does that look like if they were to go back and change it? Because, I mean, from what Utomi has said and from what critics have said, is that it is an absence of a strong opposition who can speak truth to power and hold power accountable, hence why a shadow government is being built, or this entity is being created.
So the fact that there is no main opposition, trying to speak truth in power, does not mean you should have another government, right? I believe that another step that can be taken, right, can be that the group of people can come together, form an association, a public opinion group, in the sense that they can always, bring out opinions about the action of the government, policies of the government. This particular group, will be well respected, in the sense that people can join, even individuals who are not even known as maybe politicians, or who are not even known as, a prominent person in Nigeria, can join the group and, speak truth to power, make sure that things are, are put before the government, and in fact, put the government on their toes. But to have a shadow government and to name it a government, right, will be out of place, and it is basically unconstitutional. The question not only recognize one government, and that government is the elected government, as we speak. Having a shadow government will just, in a way, cast shadow in the minds of the people and bring the people to, in fact, lower the respect they have for the main government. I mean, the government of we have in power right now.
All right. Okiki, I must say thank you for taking our time to join us. Okiki Adeniran, he is a legal practitioner, joined us, give us a bit of insight following the DSS suit against Professor Utomi.